People who are intermittent fasting always seem to be on the hunt for alternate beverages. They love to be on the prowl for coffees of different types, teas of different types. They start with one and then they move to another and then another, and pretty soon they're on diet sodas and energy drinks, and they're in all of this stuff, and they're looking for variety. Well, in the quest for variety, why would you overlook something like ginger tea? It is so powerful, and it is something so important to your body's health and well-being and life, overall life focus, that you would be honestly a fool to leave it out. One of the things that I have noticed about ginger tea, I've talked about them on this channel, medicinal mushrooms, the Chinese medicinal mushrooms that I use. I'll make a separate video on. Obviously this whole channel is based around my story and now many other people's success stories on one meal a day. And then ginger. Ginger is a strong number 3. It's one of those things that you can do forever on various wavelengths. You can do it when you feel like it, or you can do it every day. Unless you're allergic to ginger or you take some kind of blood thinner that you have to take for some reason, which if you take ginger, you probably don't even need to take a blood thinner at all. You really don't have any concerns here. There's no way to go wrong. So we're going to look at benefits of ginger, then we're going to look at how I make it. And first of all, isn't that such a good looking little cup there? Isn't that, you can't go wrong with a mason jar and some ginger chopped up. But what are the big advantages of ginger? And this comes from healthline.com. One of the strongest things you can do is when you look for benefits of something, don't just go online, because otherwise you're going to find a whole lot of videos that say they're going to repeat what the rumor is. Oh, echinacea is good for, St. John's wort is good for depression and all of this stuff. And there's no science to back that up. This is actually backed by science. Ginger alleviates soreness, sports injuries, joint issues, whether it's osteoarthritis, just arthritis from old age. It's a joint wonder. It works wonders for your joints. If you have something like costochondritis, or you have tissue issues with your body in terms of your age, and your knees are wearing out, your joints are wearing out, you want to consider ginger. It's great for menstrual cramps. I have no experience there, but it's great for any kind of cramps. It's great for Crohn's, irritable bowel syndrome, gastrointestinal upsets, bloating, whether because you ate too much or because you feel bloated. All of these things it has shown anti-cancer properties, but not only that, it's actually shown properties in terms of pancreatic cancer, which is a huge issue because pancreatic cancer is considered untreatable. Steve Jobs, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and many others who've struggled with this type of cancer, basically you get it, it's a death sentence. Well, there's at least a chance that unlike other healthy stuff, beets and obviously greens and other powerhouse foods, it may be that ginger has the best chance of keeping you alive, or keeping you alive longer. And we know from clinical experimentation that ginger helps you with chemotherapy. If you're going through a later or more advanced stage and chemotherapy is required, you can use ginger to help mitigate the feelings of sickness and illness. And it has shown that it helps the gut lining produce more bile and produce all of the digestive juices that help prevent leaky gut syndrome. We know that because we're actually able to see that in hypothyroid rats. And one of the sources cited in the paper here, which I'll link to, is a test they did with rats where they were able to actually improve digestion and overall health markers based on something as simple as your digestive juices. When you get older, you start to lose your lining, just like all of your skin starts to thin. And as a result, your gut lining thins as well. So what happens? You stop making enough bile, you stop making enough acids that digest food. So you eat something like spaghetti or something that has grains, and it pierces your gut lining and ends up in your blood floating around. Your body attacks it. You have an autoimmune disorder now. And some people are on this channel doing OMAD because they're trying to restore not only their health, but their body's overreactive nature from years of abuse. and I can definitely relate. Cancer, and here's one of the biggest benefit, and this is a personal one to me, because as a German, we're mostly German in our family, a little bit of French and Irish, but we're mostly German. We clot, and Germans have high protein activity that is like overactive in the blood, which causes clotting. And in 2010, as a big guy, I went to the hospital because I just getting cramps all over my body, particularly in my legs. And it's usually your lower extremities where your body starts to, the blood vessels start to fade, get thinner, because you're coming to the end of your tissue. So as a result, I was cramping up. I went to the hospital, and of course, I was eating terrible. I wasn't fasting. I wasn't doing anything. I was 360 pounds, 350 pounds, something like that. And he said you have a lot of calcium and fatty deposits along your lining. He says, I want to do more tests. You could end up with a stroke or something. So I never went back in because I was just stubborn, but it scared me. And I looked it up, and we've had a lot of people in our family, of course, strokes and heart attacks and diabetes. It's all in our family. But that scared me, and I never forgot it. And I've looked it up. One of the best things you can do if you have DVT, deep vein thrombosis, if you have anything like that, is to do ginger. You can use it as a fasting beverage. You can use it as a meal beverage. It is basically calorie-free. You only get a few stray calories here and there, and you won't. What you will see is a quick reduction in blood sugar, and that's the last thing here in this list. There's all kinds of amazing things here. Thinning of the blood. It's as effective as aspirin at pain relief or ibuprofen in tests. It's about equal to lowering cholesterol. I got a few more things here I forgot. But those are the big things. It actually will reduce your cholesterol as much as a prescription drug. And it gives some examples here. I don't want to bore you with just reading through a study, because you can do that on your own. But suffice it to say, ginger is a powerhouse, but it's one that you will see beneficial digestively. It's one that you will see whether you're active and you're healthy, whether you're old and decrepit. No matter where you are on the health continuum, you will find that it benefits you. So let's move along to how you prepare ginger tea. First, again, you can use it as fasting or a beverage at any point during the day. You can use it every day. I would not advise using more than 3 cups per day, because it does lower it could conceivably thin your blood too much. But you would want to I do 2 cups every other couple weeks. I go through, and I have some more here I just made, and it's cooled off now. I'll do 2 glasses like this. And what you can do about this is do 2 runs. You put the pan on the stove, you cut up ginger into little quarter or $half size chunks. You fill the bottom of the cup effectively. Put it all in the pan with distilled water. Always use distilled water. Boil it on medium heat. That's 5 or 6 on the stove for 10 minutes. You can go up to 20 and then let it steep 10 to 20. You don't want to cook it too long on high heat, because then it's not going to cook enough to get out all those juices, that wet, strong ginger smell that you get in there. And you don't want to cook it too fast also, because it will boil away, or too high, because it will boil away the gingerol, the property that actually helps. So take that out, pour it. You can do it directly as a standalone beverage, like I have here actually a little bit of green tea in there in the glass. But you can put it with any tea. You can take a single, and you can do black tea. You can do green. I do green tea or dandelion tea or burdock root tea. I take a single, I bring it to work. I fill the glass up yay far with, if I use the mason, I actually still have the mason jar right here. Fill it up yay far, so it's a very hot, spicy on the mouth. Use as much as you feel comfortable. If you want to do only 1 or 2 chunks, you can do that. Or you want to do a lot, you can do that as well. I like a challenge. This makes the beverage taste like a coffee replacement or a tea replacement. So I'm not always having to go and get another tea. I can just get water and ginger, as well as water by itself, and then the different teas and coffees. So why would I want to do that? Because, again, whether you're old or young, healthy or not healthy, this is a powerhouse benefit that could honestly save your life. It also, I have had people try it who had very high A1Cs, and they saw a significant reduction in all cases. So there's no downside here. There's no downside here. Add ginger tea to your diet and live your best life.